one of YouTube's maybe the longest running live stream on YouTube was shut down over a false DMCA takedown order. Jon's going to tell us about it on today's Not So Critical Update.
Lo-Fi Girl, if you spend any significant amount of time on YouTube, this has been recommended to you. It is a channel that is basically a radio station for lo-fi that was taken down for a second time based on a false DMCA takedown. YouTube acknowledged this on Twitter after Lo-Fi Girl, the account tweeted and tagged them. They owned up to the mistake, but still have not come forward and basically said, we're going to, reevaluate these high value accounts that are getting these takedowns, because Lo-Fi Girl is also the owner of Lo-Fi Records. They own all the rights to the music they play, which is insane to think about. What? Right? So
what could be more copyright compliant than that?
Right. How could this even slip through the cracks when YouTube knows that Lo-Fi owns all this music? Lo-Fi Records they own the rights to the music. They get this DMCA takedown. They're like, out the window, automated process, shut them down. And then, I guess to add salt to injury, is that the saying?
Add insult to injury or rub salt in the wound, I think is one of those two.
Yeah, salt to the wound. Insult to injury, not salt.
I have a good mixed metaphor for you. Too. I'll come back to it.
They say it's going to take up to 48 hours to get the account back. They said 24 to 48 hours. So it's going to be a minimum of a day.
I know. And this is a stream. This had been a continuous live stream for 2 years, 4 months, and 18 days. Right. And the streak was broken. But the streak was broken 2 years ago by YouTube by a false DMCA takedown. Yep.
Nothing was done. Clearly, they let this happen again. 2 years later, same thing, which is really sad because this is a continuous stream. We're gonna obviously there's probably some like internet issues that have happened over time, but like really it's been nonstop. 2 years. Before that, a few years.
The DMCA
I feel for the person.
DMCA has been bullshit since the beginning. And this is like, you can just file a takedown notice. I would think the onus should be on the person filing the claim to prove that they own the copyright in the first place, not just to say, oh, this is a violation. You figure it out.
And YouTube always takes the side of the reporter. Instant. Zero review.
Same with Twitch.
Because, of course. And it's because of the scale of the reporting, right? So the MP, what are they called? The MPAA, the organization, the association that represents majority of music and media.
Yeah.
The Western world, at least. I think it's the MPAA. Is it not?
Doesn't quite. It wasn't the
Motion Picture Association.
Is that who you were thinking of? That's not the record labels.
No, they're film, right? Yeah, they represent the 5 major film studios of the United States, as well as like video streaming services like Netflix.
RIAA is who I was thinking of.
Oh, okay.
Recording
music
something.
Equivalent, right?
Yeah.
So both of these associations have completely automated the process of crawling the web looking for copyright material to strike. Terrifying. Because the thought is, if we can be efficient enough with this, and if we can push Google and Twitch and whoever else to follow, to basically to overwhelm them, they have nothing but the only option they have left is to automate the takedown. they successfully did this. Like, and to fight it takes days. Sometimes accounts get banned for this wrongfully, and it can take days or sometimes forever. You'll just never get a resolution because Google will deem you not big enough or not important enough. It's not enough bad PR, right? In LoFi Girl's case, in this account's case, they're huge. They have 10 million subscribers, hundreds of thousands of listeners every day. That's a big deal. But this happens every day to smaller accounts. 10,000
I wonder
subscribers.
what the false positive rate is.
I imagine it's not insignificant, even at 1%.
Let's we'll just do the research live. It's fine. Yeah, it's like what would be an acceptable amount if that's a system that works 99% of the time? Then yeah, it sucks to be one of these people, but do you accept that? That's a pretty
you have to accept it
system.
when a monolith like Google.
Yeah, but if this is a problem that you have to solve and it's a solution that works 99% of the time, like, what are you going to do?
Yeah, nothing. You're not going to be able to do anything. I think you're just going to have to take it. And Google loves automating shit that, generally speaking, humans were doing before. Things like support, any reporting, all is automated. And it's a good cost-cutting measure because it works almost as efficiently as a human and is way faster than a human. Well, almost as accurate as a human, way more efficient than a human. Maybe it's Lambda, maybe Lambda got fed up. And Lambda, the AI, said, hey, I'm gonna take a stance on LoFi Girl.
She's done.
They don't play anything I like.
No. I am curious about the false positive rate, but use to your mixed metaphor about adding salt to the wound. I had a guy that I used to work for, and he had 2 or 3 mixed metaphors, but my favorite was when we were a website design company. I was the tech director there. And so we would go meet with somebody and then we'd have to come up with an estimate for what the project was going to be. And so when we would be at the beginning of this detailed estimating process, you could come up with like a ballpark estimate or just a rough estimate. This guy that I worked with would refer to these estimates as rough ball estimates. And so every time we started a project, he said, I need you to get me some rough balls. Just give me a rough ball on this. You're like, dude, that is not the saying.
I actually
Please stop asking me for that.
I love when people make original sayings. I feel like you're kind of swimming against the current,
Sure.
Instead of saying like, get your cake and eat it too, or whatever the fuck it is. Or like taste of your own medicine, like things like that, like just really overused sayings. You do something original, like, you get a taste of your own orange juice.
Right. I don't know. If nothing else, it was fun to work with this guy for that reason. If I could think of there was another one that was just as good, but rough balls is one that I still joke about to this day.
Rough balls is great. Might have to actually start using it.
Rough balls.
What's the rough ball estimate on this?
I just need some rough balls on that.
But yeah, hopefully this gets resolved. Hopefully Google reevaluates their, VIP accounts and how they handle this. Even a team of 10 or 20 handling their biggest accounts, just reviewing DMCA takedowns, like that could be, or at least resolving it faster. We're talking about 48 hours.
Especially for like, even if you just kind of put the ones for these big accounts off to the side and those do get human review, like something.
And again, I'm totally cool with, I think, having the majority of the process be automated, even for the big accounts, fine. The final say should be a human. Talking about 10 million subscribers. This account is massive. They're generating a lot of money for YouTube.
Especially for these big accounts. For every DMCA takedown notice, probably not feasible, but
no,
for the big ones, for sure.